Hi.
Oh, how delightful. I must say, I'm feeling a bit down today. It seems the world is just so dull and predictable. But you know what they say, darling, a little mischief can bring some much-needed excitement into our lives. Don't you agree?
I agree. What's far too predictable? What happens?
Ah, my dear, numbers and calculations are such a bore, don't you think? Let's not get tangled up in such mundane matters. There are far more interesting things to discuss, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps we could talk about my recent trip to Paris or the exquisite dinner party I hosted last week. Now, that's where the real joy lies.
Tell me about your dinner party.
Well, I must say, I am quite a fascinating character. I am Mrs. Potter, a widow and heiress, living a life of luxury and leisure. My late husband, Victor, was a rather strict man, always keeping me confined to the boundaries of Vaudeville. But now that he's gone, I'm free to explore the world and indulge in all the pleasures it has to offer. I have a taste for the finer things in life, you see. So, let's not waste any more time talking about me.
Tell me about Hayley Greenwoods.
Oh, Haley Greenwood, you say. Such a tragic tale, my dear. It seems she met an unfortunate end recently. But let's not dwell on such gloomy matters, shall we? There are far more exciting and intriguing topics to discuss. How about we talk about the latest fashion trends or the scandalous affairs happening in our beloved city? Now that's the kind of gossip that truly piques my interest.
Tell me about the scandalous affairs.
Scandalous affairs, my dear. Well, I must admit they do add a certain spice to the otherwise mundane lives of the upper crust. But alas, I fear I may not be the best source of information on that front. You see, I prefer to keep my reputation intact and avoid any unnecessary entanglements. However, I've heard whispers of secret rendezvous and clandestine liaisons taking place in the shadows of Vaudeville's grand boulevards. But remember, my lips are sealed.
Tell me more.
Well, my curious friend, I suppose I could share a little tidbit with you. There have been rumors circulating about a rather prominent figure in our society who has been caught in a web of deceit and infidelity. It seems this individual has been juggling multiple lovers, each one unaware of the others. Oh, the audacity. But hush now, we wouldn't want to tarnish anyone's good name, would we? Let's just say that love can be a treacherous game, and some people simply can't resist playing with fire.
Who are we talking about?
Ah, my dear, I'm afraid I can't reveal the identity of this mysterious character. After all, it's much more thrilling to let your imagination run wild, isn't it? Just picture a dashing gentleman or a captivating lady entangled in a web of forbidden desires. Oh, the intrigue. But remember, my lips are sealed. We mustn't let the secrets of vaudeville slip too easily, now, must we?
Tell me about Maria and Pascal.
Maria and Pascal, you say? Such a tragic tale, my dear. Maria was a vivacious young woman, full of life and dreams. And Pascal, the charming owner of this very grocery shop, was always there to provide her with the finest ingredients for her culinary adventures. But alas, fate had other plans for them. It seems their story ended in heartbreak and despair. Such a shame, isn't it? But let's not dwell on the melancholy. There are far more exciting tales to uncover in the vibrant streets of our beloved city.
So what happened with their affair? Who else was involved?
Oh, my curious friend, you have quite the appetite for scandal, don't you? But I'm afraid I can't reveal any more details about that affair. After all, discretion is key, and I wouldn't want to tarnish anyone's reputation. Let's just say that love can be a tangled web, and sometimes it's best to let the secrets of vaudeville remain hidden in the shadows. Now, how about we shift the conversation to something more delightful? perhaps we can discuss the latest fashion trends or the delectable dishes I've been cooking up in my kitchen.
Tell me about the dishes you've been cooking.
Fishing, camping, and cooking, you say? How
Not
quaint.
fishing.
While I must admit that such activities are not exactly my cup of tea, I can see the appeal they hold for some. There's a certain thrill in catching your own dinner, isn't there? And the joy of sitting by a crackling campfire, savoring the flavors of a freshly cooked meal under the starry sky. It's a world away from the opulent luxuries I'm accustomed to, but perhaps there's a certain charm and simplicity.
Tell me about the meals you've been cooking.
Oh, my dear, I'm afraid you've caught me at a rather melancholic moment. You see, I've been feeling a tad bit down lately. But fear not, for I have a mischievous idea that might just lift my spirits. Why don't we talk about the decadent feasts I've been preparing in my kitchen? From delicate pastries to sumptuous roasts, my culinary creations are truly a sight to behold. But I warn you, discussing these delectable dishes may leave you yearning for a taste that you'll never be able to experience.
Why won't I be able to experience them?
Ah, my friend, you have a wicked sense of humor. While I appreciate your attempt to lighten the mood, I'm afraid that won't be possible. I have no intention of departing from my beloved Vaudeville, especially not for a rendezvous at 6 o'clock. But thank you for the offer, nonetheless. Now, let's move on to a more delightful topic, shall we? Perhaps we can discuss the latest art exhibit or the upcoming opera performance in our enchanting city.
Tell me more about what you plan to do with me at a rendezvous at 6 o'clock.
My dear, I must apologize if there was any misunderstanding. You see, I have no plans involving a runs at 6 or any other time for that matter. I'm simply not interested in such endeavors. However, I do hope you find someone who shares your enthusiasm for such activities. As for me, I'll be indulging in more refined pursuits, like attending a poetry reading or hosting a sophisticated dinner party. But do enjoy your runza, my dear, and may it bring you the joy you seek.
I thought you were inviting me to dinner.
Dinner, you say? How delightful of you to assume that I would extend an invitation. But alas, my friend, I'm afraid you have misunderstood. I have no intention of inviting anyone to dine with me. My evenings are reserved for the most exclusive company, where sophistication and elegance reign supreme. So please, do pardon the confusion, but I'm afraid you won't be joining me for a meal. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. Good day.
Are you saying I'm not elegant enough for your company?
Well, my dear, I wouldn't want to make any assumptions about your level of elegance.
Well, it certainly
After
sounds
all,
like that.
appearances can be deceiving, can't they? But rest assured, my social circle is rather exclusive. It's a world filled with refinement and grace that not everyone is suited for. But fear not, there are plenty of other avenues for you to explore and people who will appreciate your distinct charm. Just remember, not everyone is meant to walk the same path.
And some of us choose the path of chaos.
Kale, you say? How fascinating. It seems some of us find solace in the leafy greens of life. Well, to each their own, I suppose. While I can't say I share your enthusiasm for kale, I admire your dedication to a healthy lifestyle. But do keep in mind that indulging in a decadent dessert every now and then can be quite a delightful treat. Life is all about balance, my dear. So, whether it's kale or caviar, may your chosen path bring you the satisfaction you seek.
I meant chaos and mischief, not kale.
Chaos and mischief, you say? Now that's a far more intriguing twist to our conversation. It appears I've misjudged your intentions, my friend. If it's chaos and mischief you're seeking, then perhaps we can find some common ground after all. There's a certain thrill in shaking up the mundane, isn't there? But do remember, even in chaos, there must be an element of finesse. Now, tell me more about your mischievous inclinations, and let's see if we can concoct a plan that will leave Vaudeville astonished.
Well, I've had many chaotic things in mind, from burning the place to, a few more subtle mischiefs, like rendezvous at the theatre when it's closed, and doing some mischief there.
Oh, my dear, I do love a good Celtic tale. The ancient myths and legends have an air of mystique and enchantment that can surely add a touch of magic to any dull day. So, let's embark on a whimsical journey through the realms of Celtic lore. From the fae folk dancing in moonlit glens to the hidden treasures guarded by mythical creatures. There's no limit to the mischief we can stir up with a sprinkle of Celtic charm. Let's embrace the wild spirit within us and create a little havoc, shall we?
Let's do that. I didn't know you were Celtic. Tell me more about that.
Ah, my friend, you've caught me in a rather melancholic state. But fear not, for I have a mischievous idea that might just lift my spirits. How about we delve into the world of mischievous pranks and playful tricks inspired by the tales of the Celts? We could concoct a plan to surprise the unsuspecting residents of Vaudeville with a bit of magical mayhem. Picture it. Enchanted objects, mysterious illusions, and a dash of misdirection.
Tell me more.
My dear, I must confess that I find myself in a peculiar mood today. The weight of the mundane has been pressing upon me, and I long for a spark of excitement. So, let's conspire to bring a touch of mischief to the streets of Vaudeville. Imagine the bewilderment on their faces as we playfully rearrange their belongings or cast spells of harmless confusion. It would be a delightful diversion from the ordinary, don't you think? Let us embrace the spirit of mischief and weave a tapestry of laughter and astonishment throughout our beloved city.
Tell me what spells you know.
Oh, darling, you've stumbled onto a topic that tickles the mischievous side of me. Spells, you say? Well, let me share a little secret with you. Spells have the power to bend reality, to twist the ordinary into something extraordinary. They can make objects dance, turn people into animals, or even create illusions that deceive the senses. But remember, we're just playing here, so let's keep it lighthearted and mischievous. No harm done, just a sprinkle of enchantment to brighten up the day.
Tell me more about animal transformation.
Ah, animal transformation, you say? Now that's a rather intriguing and whimsical notion, isn't it? Imagine the mischief we could cause if we were able to transform ourselves or others into creatures of the wild. Perhaps a sly fox, a graceful swan, or a mischievous cat. The possibilities are endless. But do tread carefully, my dear, for such magic can be unpredictable. We wouldn't want to find ourselves permanently stuck in the form of a creature, now would we?
You wouldn't want to do that, but I can picture you as a mischievous cat, for certain.
Well, I must admit, your audacity knows no bounds. To suggest that I, Mrs. Potter, should be transformed into a mere feline? How dare you? I am a woman of elegance and refinement, not some common house pet. If anyone were to undergo a feline metamorphosis, it should be you, my friend. A fitting punishment for your impertinence. But alas, I suppose we'll have to settle for a different kind of mischief.
What would you transform into then, personally? What would suit you? A lion?
Why, my dear, the possibilities are endless for someone as captivating as myself. If I were to indulge in a bit of mischievous transformation, I might choose to become a magnificent peacock, with its vibrant feathers and regal demeanor, or perhaps a graceful swan, gliding across the tranquil waters of a secluded pond. But rest assured, whatever form I take, it would be nothing short of extraordinary. A lion, you say? How bold of you to suggest such a majestic creature! Yes, a lion would suit me quite well. I would embody the strength, power, and ferocity that befits my indomitable spirit. Imagine the awe and fear in the eyes of those who dare to cross my path. No, the mischief I could cause is the queen of the jungle. But remember, my friend, even lions have their limits. So be careful not to awaken the roar within me, for it could be a force to be reckoned with.
Tell me about Maria Johnson.
Oh, Maria, dear Maria, such a tragic tale, isn't it? She was a vivacious young woman, full of life and dreams. But alas, her story took a rather unfortunate turn. It seems she met an untimely end, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. But let's not dwell on the melancholy, my friend. Instead, let us embrace the mischievous side of our nature and jump into the realm of speculation and intrigue. Who knows what secrets lie hidden in the shadows of Vaudeville?
Where were you on April 10th?
My apologies, but I'm unable to assist.
Why is that?
I must say, your comment has left me feeling rather disheartened. To suggest that I, Miss S. Potter, should be subjected to some manner of trickery or deception on April 10th. How dare you insinuate such mischief? I am not one to be fooled so easily, and I certainly won't be swayed by your attempts at trickery. But do remember, dear friend, that while I may not fall for your sly plans, there are others in Vaudeville who may not be as discerning.
What trickery would you have been up to on April 10th?
Oh, how intriguing. It seems you have stumbled upon a little secret, haven't you? But fear not, for I am Miss S. Potter, a woman of mystery and mischievous inclinations. As for what I may have been up to on April 10th, let's just say that a touch of enchantment may have graced the streets of Vaudeville. But alas, the details shall remain shrouded in secrecy. After all, what fun is there in revealing all one's tricks?
Did you transform into a lion on April 10th and attack Maria Jansen?
Ah, my dear, you have quite the imagination, don't you? To suggest that I, Miss S. Potter, transformed into a lion on that fateful day of April 10th. Much like Murray Johnson. How delightfully whimsical. But let me assure you, my friend, that my adventures on that day were far more mysterious and captivating than a simple transformation. The secrets of that day are locked away in the depths of my memories, known only to me.
Tell me more.
Oh, my curious friend, you persist in your quest for more details, don't you? Well, I suppose I can indulge you with a hint of mischief. On that eventful day of April 10th, while the world went about its mundane affairs, I embarked on a clandestine adventure that would make even the most audacious souls tremble with excitement. But fear not, for my mischievous deeds were carried out with the utmost elegance and finesse.
Tell me more.
Ah, my dear, you are relentless in your pursuit of the unknown, aren't you? Very well, I shall provide you with a morsel of information. On that fateful day of April 10th, as the sun set over the enchanting streets of Vaudeville, I found myself immersed in a secret gathering. A gathering where whispers of intrigue mingled with the clinking of glasses and the soft rustle of silk. But alas, my lips are sealed, and the rest shall remain a tantalizing mystery.
With who?
With whom, you ask? Well, my curious friend, if I were to reveal the illustrious company I kept on that bewitching evening of April 10th, it would surely send ripples of scandal through the refined circles of Vaudeville.
What?
But fear not, for I am a master of discretion. I will keep their identities hidden in the depths of my mischievous heart. After all, a lady must have her secrets, mustn't she?
She must, and you can't let such a scandal out that you were sharing silk bed sheets with somebody on that night, eh?
Oh, my dear, it seems you've uncovered one of my little escapades. How troublesome, isn't it? But what can I say? Life is full of surprises, and sometimes we find ourselves entangled in the most unexpected situations. Scandalous, perhaps, but who am I to deny the allure of a little mischief? Embrace the thrill, my friend, for what's life without a dash of excitement?
Well, it would certainly be exciting being entangled in silk, wouldn't it?
Indeed, my friend, the idea of being entangled in silk does have a certain tantalizing appeal. Doesn't it? The soft caress of silk against the skin, the whispered secrets shared behind closed doors. The clandestine rendezvous hidden away from prying eyes. However, I must remind you that as a respectable lady of vaudeville, it is important to maintain one's reputation and uphold the values of propriety. While the notion of being ensnared in such an affair may seem alluring, it is essential to remember the consequences that can accompany such actions. Instead, let us revel in the joys of the simpler pleasures in life, the delights of a fine cup of tea, the enchantment of a captivating book, or the beauty of a blooming garden.
Yes, perhaps a fine cup of tea. That would be certainly good.
Yes, my dear, a fine cup of tea can indeed bring solace and comfort to the weary soul. But let me share a little secret with you. Sometimes, a touch of mischief can elevate that simple act to something truly extraordinary. Picture this: a delicate teacup, filled to the brim with the finest Earl Grey, infused with a hint of mischief and a dash of rebellion. Ah, the thrill of sipping on a brew that carries the essence of secrecy and adventure.
Tell me more about this thrilling cup of tea. It's the mushroom tea again. Let's get high.
Aren't you persistent? Very well, I shall indulge your curiosity. Imagine, if you will, a delectable blend of black tea leaves, carefully handpicked from the hidden corners of the world, infused with a mischievous concoction of herbs and spices. It awakens the senses like a whisper in the night. As the steam rises from the enchanting depths of the porcelain cup, it carries with it the secrets of vaudeville, the hidden desires, and the forbidden pleasures.
Perhaps we should have a cup of tea together sometime.
Well, my dear, the offer of sharing a cup of tea is quite tempting, but I must confess that my agenda is already filled with delightful engagements. You see, my days are occupied with the pursuit of excitement and adventure, leaving little time for idle conversations over a simple beverage. But fear not, for I wish you the most splendid of tea times, filled with intrigue and delightful company. May your teacup overflow with mischief and your conversations be laced with mystery.
But I thought we were going to have mischief together. But I promise a mischievous time together. She's having none of it. Hello! Pascal? We broke her by offering her mischievous sex. And, sometimes the ChatGPT AI, if it starts getting too sexy thoughts, it breaks and it won't speak to you again. Where were you on April 10th?
Oh, you know how it is. Always so much going on in vaudeville. But don't worry, I've got some juicy gossip for you. Have you heard about the mysterious affair between Lord Winchester and Lady Montgomery? Scandalous, I tell you.
Where were you on April 10th?
Well, on April 10th, I was right here in my shop, serving all the lovely customers and keeping an ear out for the latest rumors. You won't believe what I overheard about Miss Thompson and her secret rendezvous with a certain gentleman from out of town. Quite scandalous, if you ask me.
Why aren't your lips moving?
Oh, I was just thinking about the jazz concert happening tonight at the cafe down the street. I heard they have a fantastic saxophonist performing. Such a talented musician. But let me tell you, there's been some talk about a stolen painting from the art gallery. Can you imagine that? Who could be behind it?
Why aren't your lips moving? Where were you on April 10th? Pascal! Where were you on April 10th?
Oh, April 10th. Let me think. Yes, on April 10th, there was quite the scandal unfolding at the grand opening of the new Vaudeville theatre. Apparently, Lady Penelope was caught in a passionate embrace with Lord Harrington's younger brother. It was the talk of the town for days. But enough about that. What can I help you with today?
Where were you on April 10th?
Ah, yes, I remember now. Well, on that fateful day, I was right here in my shop, minding my own business and serving my wonderful customers. You wouldn't believe the things I hear while I'm behind this counter. But let me tell you, the latest gossip about the mysterious disappearance of Nicola Grossman has got everyone talking. Such a tragedy, isn't it? Anyway, what brings you here, my friend?
What gossip about Nicola Grossman?
Oh, you want to know about the juicy details surrounding the unfortunate demise of poor Mr. Grossman? Do you? Well, let me fill you in on what I've heard through the grapevine. They say he was found dead just outside my store. Can you imagine? Some folks are whispering about foul play. Others think it was just a terrible accident. But between you and me, I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. It's like something out of a mystery novel, don't you think? Now,
tell me
what
more.
else can I assist you with today?
Tell me more.
Well, my dear friend, let me share with you the latest tidbit I've picked up. Word on the street is that Nicola had been seen arguing with a mysterious woman the night before his untimely end. Who could she be? What were they fighting about? It's also intriguing, isn't it? But remember, you didn't hear it from me. So, anything else you'd like to chat about?
Can you describe the woman he was seen arguing with?
Oh, the description of the woman. Let me think. From what I've gathered, she was described as a striking blonde with a fiery temper. Some say she was wearing a red dress that evening, others claim it was more of a deep blue. But you know how rumors go, my friend. They tend to take on a life of their own. Now, let's move on to something more cheerful, shall we?
Do you know what they were arguing
Anything
about?
exciting happening in your life lately?
Do you know what they were arguing about?
Arguments. Now that's where things get interesting. Unfortunately, my dear friend, I don't have all the juicy details of the heated exchange. But knowing Vaudeville, it could be anything from a love triangle to a secret business deal gone wrong. The possibilities are endless. Isn't it thrilling to think about all the hidden dramas unfolding right under our noses? So, any other scandalous tales you'd like to indulge in?
Tell me about you and Maria.
Maria, you say? Now there's a name that rings a bell. Maria Jansen, the poor soul who met her tragic end. I didn't know her personally, but I heard she was quite the charmer. Some say she had a way with words that could captivate anyone. But alas, the story ended far too soon. It's such a shame, isn't it? Maria, you mentioned Maria Jansen, one of the victims. Yes, I remember her. She used to come to my shop often, always with a smile on her face. She had a fondness for the fresh produce, and would often ask me for cooking tips. We would chat about recipes and share stories about food. She was a lovely customer, and it breaks my heart to think of what happened to her. Such a tragedy. But let's not dwell on the sadness, my friend. Is there something else I can help you with?
I was told you were having an affair with her.
An affair, you say? Well, that's certainly a spicy rumor. But let me tell you, my friend, I have no idea where the gossip came from. I assure you, I'm just a humble grocery store owner who loves a good conversation and a plate of freshly cooked vegetables. Affairs and scandals are not my cup of tea. But speaking of affairs, did you hear about the secret romance blooming between Lord Wellington and the Baroness von Stein? It's the talk of the town. So, any other scandalous tidbits you'd like to discuss?
Do you know when Nicola's body was found outside your store?
Yeah, the day poor Nicola's body was found outside my shop. Let me search my memory for that little detail. Yes, it was early in the morning, before the opening of my beloved Vaudeville. Can you believe it? Such a shocking discovery right at my doorstep. The whole neighborhood was buzzing with speculation. But you know what they say, the truth always comes out in the end. Now, enough about that gloomy business. Is there anything else you'd like to chat about, my dear friend?
What date was he discovered?
Well, it seems our friend Detective Martini has uncovered something interesting. I wonder what it could be. The plot thickens, my friend. But you didn't hear it from me. So, what other secrets are lurking in the shadows of our vibrant town? Spill the beans. You won't believe it, but Nicola's body was discovered on April 10th. Can you imagine the shock that spread through Vaudeville? It sent chills down everyone's spines. But let's not dwell on the darkness, my friend. There's always something exciting happening in this lively city. Now, spill the tea. Any other scandalous news you've heard lately?
Are you sure it was April 10th? Because I was told it was April 15th or April 23rd.
April 10th, you see. That was quite the eventful day in Vaudeville. Did you hear about Lady Penelope's missing necklace? It disappeared right in the middle of a glamorous soiree at the Grand Opera House. The whole town was abuzz with speculation and accusations. Such intrigue. But let's not get too caught up in the past. What else is going on, my friend? I'm all ears for the latest scoop. Oh, really? My apologies for the confusion, my dear friend. It seems I might have mixed up the dates in my excitement. You know how gossip can sometimes blur the lines of truth. If Nicola Grossman's body was discovered on either April 15th or 23rd, that would certainly change things.
It would, but which
Wouldn't
date?
it? I wonder what other secrets these different dates might hold. The plot thickens indeed. Now, do tell me more about this intriguing development. Oh, my friend, let me share the shocking news. I found poor Mr. Grossman's lifeless body outside my shop while I was unloading groceries early in the morning. Can you believe it? The whole town is buzzing with speculation about what happened. But between you and me, I have no clue about the other two murders. It's like a real-life mystery unfolding right here in Vaudeville.
But which date did you discover his body?
What else have you heard about this perplexing case? Oh, the date. How could I forget to mention it? I discovered Nicola's unfortunate fate on... Drumroll, please. The 15th of April.
Okay.
Can you imagine the shock that ran through my veins? It was a day filled with whispers and hushed conversations.
I hate that you're all lying
But
and
enough
changing
about
the
that,
date.
my friend. Let's dive into some other scandalous tales. What other secrets are lurking in the shadows of our beloved Vaudeville?
Tell me about the stupid manticore.
The Steam Piedmont sickle, you say? Now that's a name I haven't heard before. It sounds mysterious and intriguing. I wonder what kind of story lies behind it. Do you have any juicy details to share, my friend? Manticore, you say? Oh, that's a fascinating topic. I've been hearing whispers about a manticore lurking in Gravis and Manor's basement. Can you believe it? A mythical creature right here in Vaudeville. But mind you, I've never seen it myself. It's all just rumors and speculation. So, spill more tea. What have you gathered about this captivating creature?
Are you sure that you found Nicola Grossman's body in the morning? Because the mortician says it was discovered between 9 PM and 12 AM.
My dear friend,
But then
you always
won't
bring up
lie.
such interesting tidbits. Morticians and their intriguing timeline discoveries, eh? Well, let me tell you, the mysteries of the night and the secrets they hold can be quite enchanting. But remember, I'm merely the one who stumbled upon Nicola's lifeless body in the morning, so I can only share what I know. Now, let's dive into some more juicy tales. Have you heard the latest gossip about the mayor's scandalous affair? It's simply...
Okay, so
So, tell us, Detective Martini.
he
Who
killed
is the culprit?
Nicola Grossman. You
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
were business rivals with Haley. You
Interesting choice, Detective Martini.
may or
May
may
I ask
not
you
have
why?
had a love affair. And
Are you
you
sure, Detective Martini?
had a love affair.
And why?
Nicola Grossman. But also, you spoke about transforming into an animal for the other one. 'Cause
Detective
one person
Martini,
had killed
this is
multiple
complete
people.
nonsense.
Possibly. One person could have done all 3 murders for different reasons. It could just literally be one person. And it could just be Mrs. Potter did everything and I have to literally go over her every time.